said it. His focus and the focus of the NRM government is to make sure that grassroots actions are held very important, because that's where people are. All politics is local, is at the local level, not up there in offices where we sit. All people, all actions are here, and according to the strategy, the PDM strategy is, as you know, is an epicenter strategy. Epicenter is a geographical word that comes from the earthquake situation. So it cannot be up there. It starts from down, where the earthquake shakes the ground until there's no more tremors. Where the tremors stop is where another epicenter is created. And that's how we call our parishes epicenters. Our epicenter is a parish where every action has to take place, including initiation of programs, implementation, monitoring, and until poverty is shaken around there. The president said, actually, the slogan this time is "not more sleeping," right? So there's no more sleeping on the job. In the past 5 years, we've been like planting a seed. It was still a seed that needed to be planted to make sure that it's properly spread on the ground. And right now, PDM is everywhere in all the 10,500 parishes in the country. So this phase, where the government calls Kisanja, is for really shaking away all poverty from the people. We don't have any more time. The 5 years have been for spreading the news, for spreading the strategy on the ground, which used to be just a concept, is now properly on the ground with structures well laid down, implementation structures. So now where we are going is to make sure that those structures are functional, they are working. Where there's a problem, we must change immediately so that we are awake. There should be some kind of movement every time. We are not having any more time of excuses, because leadership, this strategy works on leadership, on good and effective leadership at all levels. So our first starting point of leadership at the parish is the PDC and the circle leadership. That's why we are putting a lot of emphasis on the election of new leaders, because initially most people came thinking this is a political strategy towards election, and have given back money to reward those who voted last time, and then after that there's no PDM. So the leaders who came also were still skeptical. They didn't understand their roles. But right now, I think it has been proven that PDM is a long-term strategy to help Uganda move from a low-income country to a higher-income country. Okay? So we've already finished 4 years, 5 years. We've disbursed the money, we've prepared the ground, we've held leadership and structures, especially for implementation. Right now is a time for action. It's for work to ensure that the money is repaid. In the report of the focal person, I didn't see any report on the repayments, how much has been repaid. I would be surprised to hear that nothing has been paid yet. Is it there?
1.4 million.
1.4 million?
Yes.
Paid back?
Yes.
1.4 million shillings.
Yes, paid back.
1 million.
Paid back
Yes.
out of 27 billion.
Yes.
Is that what you said in your report?
Yes.
So it means you're sleeping. Let's be very sure about ourselves. Let's be very open, because from good to great, we need to confront the brutal facts. If we want to reform and move towards greatness and proper implementation, let's face the brutal facts and say, this one we have slept on the job. We have failed. And then we wake up, but now we need to move further. We need to implement on the ground. The president has informed everyone. Of course, we are all appointed by the president. He's the appointing authority. And he has told the MPs as well that should be very, very keen. He has even said even ministers are going to be sacked on the job if he comes and finds 1 million shillings paid back out of 27 billion. We all know the vision for this strategy is to create parish banks, parish revolving banks. And maybe at the end of it, we shall have an Apex Bank, which is a Ugandan Parish Development Bank at the highest level. But then parishes have to have their own money. This money has to remain in parishes, revolving. It's not something that is going to be called off like the previous programs, where they disburse money, people eat it and they forget and they start another program. Government has said this is the last mile program. We shall keep improving, but it's not going to go off. It has to deliver the socio-economic transformation of our people, of Uganda. And 5 years is a long time for us to be able to achieve this. We've already finished 5 years. We are going into the next 5 years. And the beauty with it is that the leadership in power, which is the NRM, has even put it in their manifesto, which gives us a lot of hope that we have a lot of political support for this program to succeed. So let's take the opportunity. I think the work of the community development officers is going to be more emphasized during this time because you're the one who deals with the people, you're the ones who are on the ground, you're the one who deal with the issues of mindset change. You need to rise up now and transform the mindsets of people much more than you've done before. In the past, more emphasis has been on commercial officers, on money, preparing people, training them, and disbursement. But now we have to recover and put our feet on the ground to make sure that even the profitability of the enterprises is assured. We need to make sure that the value chain aspects are moving, they are working, and we are not just talking space as usual. I keep envisioning development strategy as we are the ground, the air, and under the ground. There are things which are in the air, like politics. Influence politically is in the air, and we shout and we make noise, we excite people, we are happy. But then, after the dust settles down, poverty is on the ground. We are able to see. That's where we walk. Okay? I keep quoting the president because he's the flag bearer of PDM. If he wasn't there, and if he didn't have a personal interest, I don't think we would have reached where we are. He's a vision. He has this vision that he has mobilized everybody to start believing in it. He says poverty is not in government. Poverty is in households, is at household level. And so if households can transform, then there will not be poverty in the parish. So let's emphasize transformation of the mindset at household, at first at individual level, and then household, and then later we move towards the parish. We can't talk about village because village is too small to cause the change we want. A parish is big enough. That's why we take it as the epicenter. When things are working properly together at a parish, it's big enough but also small enough for people to know each other, for leaders to be accountable, and then for actions to take place and people learn from each other and mobilize and congregate the products and to do collective marketing. I saw that in the focal person's report, that you are going to do a lot of collective marketing and bulking. That's what we are up to. But you can't bulk when production is low. What shows us that production is high and this place is ripe, it's ready for for marketing. That will be shown by the volumes that we have. If there are eggs, let's have a lot of eggs in different places, and then we start demanding for markets. And that's exactly what the circle is supposed to be. The parish circle is supposed to help with those. And so that's partly why we are here, to start engaging a second gear, to say the first phase is gone of popularizing PDM, of laying the strategy on the ground, of making sure everybody knows of the structures which are needed for implementing PDM are in place. So what is next? We keep asking ourselves, so what? If we've disbursed 27 million in that district, so what? What's now missing? We keep asking ourselves questions until we find a solution for the development of our country. So I want us to broaden our visions or our minds, because if you people who are the change agents are transformed, then we can transform our people, communities, especially those who are living in subsistence economy. That's why each one of us has a part to play, and we must take it very seriously to ensure that this strategy succeeds. Anything that didn't go well, of course, last time the chairman said, the chairman of the cow, that in the past, when you hear that PDM secretariat is coming, people are not happy, you run. Some people are running away. Recently, I was with Jackie in where? Sebei. Wherever we went, people had run away in the local governments, sub-county, cities, people are not there. They say they heard we were coming and they ran. It means there was a problem. How do you run when there's no problem? And you're dealing with people who understand communities very well. We understand the dynamics that you go through, the challenges. So it's good to be present and we discuss. It's a conversation that has to continue. I keep telling people that PDM was not designed as an arresting strategy. It's not an people arresting strategy. Instead, it's supposed to be uh, a reconciliatory strategy. Okay, it's a security strategy. When people are happy, when people are rich, when people are not hungry or they are not poor, then they can stay in their communities and work together. It's for conflict resolution. Conflicts come because people are poor, isn't it?
Yes.
Conflicts come because people are no, they want to steal. They steal people's things. I've had the report about a lot of thefts here. Maybe those who don't have, who did not listen to our call to join PDM are the ones who are stealing right now. But those who really came and participated or who are participating, we don't expect them to steal. So part of the objectives of PDM is to deliver a safe and secure country where parishes are working together for development, where people are in the developed countries. When you go there, you don't find people having a lot of wall fences around them. Very rich people, but they leave their houses open because everybody. When you come to my house, what you don't find what's in your house is what you find in my house. So you're not going to come and steal. Okay, they are dealing with other types of challenges, but at least poverty is not something that is a problem for them. And we can really reach there. We can go there. Okay? Where we've been has been the hardest place. Where we are coming or the future is a great place. And that's why we keep saying PDM is not just disburse money and then that is it. It's not about money, by the way. It's about working together. It's about systems functioning well. It's about leaders being accountable and taking responsibility. It's about households knowing their status and discarding the lifestyle they have lived in for generations, you know. And we can make it with this kind of support. Some people have never held 1 million shillings. Now they have held it. So what is missing now to make sure that there's good progress? Aggregation centers we have. These are the things we must now think about in a parish. If a parish is small, then can we have it at the sub-county levels? Those things we must, that's why we are here this time, to map out who are doing what, who are the suppliers, who are the input suppliers, who are the transporters, if you can. I hope production people have that information. Who are the, you know, the off takers? Are they registered? Are they certified? Those are the questions we want to discuss right now. And I want to have a feel of what's happening in the parishes. And then when we go down, we shall also go deeper and speak to the people at that level what they think their communities are. So that when we get this information, we are able to go back and design a proper way of how to approach it, which can work in the whole country.
And they have totally refused to understand that they are not supposed to buy their own money. They are the very people who disturb the technical people because you know the system. Number one, we always bring the 50, and then after you bring another 50. But they always want to be number one. So the moment they want to be number one, they end up saying, "Can I give you something which you don't go, and you make me to be number one?" And that's the beginning and the source of the corruption we see in the PDM. So if opportunity is given, I don't know the measure the government can do, but the technical group is here, and we all try our best to talk with the community members to understand how the system works, and also to understand the motive of the president of bringing the PDM. It is as if it is not yet known. Maybe in BUTALEJA it is known, but other parts, because they have not started in BUTALEJA, people are not aware, they don't understand why PDM came. As one of us mentioned, even the politicians always encourage the community by saying that this money is for us to eat. Nobody will ever come to demand for this money. You eat the money. That's why we get scenarios where a member of a community can allow his national ID to be used by a technical person to access the money. And at the end of the day, the owner of the national ID gets like 20, 30, and somebody runs the money because they know the story will end there. So I'm requesting through media, maybe on TV, maybe on radio, whenever I access, if we can continue to educate the community that this money came to tell them, and at the end of the day, it will be acquired. The few circle members I made, I always tell them, then we used to go to banks to get money in forms of loan. Now the President Museveni is saying, can we stop going to banks to get money? Let us bring the bank at the parish level. Try to cause people understand why the parish development model came, so that they can try to keep the money within the parish.
To the political wing, much as Mama you said, we leave it, what. The connotation down there to the people we are fighting for is PDM Kasimo Mzee Yatua. And this was by even leaders down there. So us as technical people going back and convincing them, I know we are going to do it story by story, and I know they buy it, but it's an appeal to me now that we have another new leadership in the political wing. We humbly request that I think they help us a bit brainwash our clients down there, the beneficiaries, that this is something that was not a casino. Please, we request you to pay the money, because these guys are like, but in our language here, but in the prisons are very few for them. So I appeal to the new political wing that help us revamp the yes. Please, Mama, that's very sensitive. There are people who have say, I know whether I like it or not, you'll take us in. A second one, and then I leave, is capacity building. We've been for production. There was a visioning which was very nice, production which is moving on. Now capacity building. This is an appeal to our supervisors. We always have a slot we jot in when it comes to appraisals, and we ask for capacity building, because this is now a level for value addition. I've seen programs where even they have developed programs for the stakeholders, same short course, a diploma, a bachelor's, and even master's.
I always hear them say, wherever he's communicating, he says Bukedi are misled with the rice. The problem is some of our farmers down there, they could buy the idea of having fish farming on the boundaries. All that we have a problem that if we could have through the government to have a special machine here to help our farmers to see that they can carry on that enterprise. Fish farming is doing very well here. Only now the money power, Mama, that
machine is
to excavate the fish ponds. It would be very okay.
When you compute the land area, out of the total land area, 40% is a wetland. And now people go in for that enterprise, majorly because they don't even have much land where they can plant these other food crops, which we encourage in the PDM. The other one is about the transport for my colleagues here who go to the field on a day-to-day. I think there is a time we attended a workshop and they were promoting this means of transport that does not take a lot of costs. Somebody exercises, they don't even take fuel, so they are very cost effective. So to start with, I would think that we would get bicycles. Okay, yeah, bicycles for exercising because that's the official means of transport. Actually, anyway, that would be my suggestion.
In the parish, we don't have a centralized place where, for example, you wanted to access any information about the parish, where you can get it. For us parish chiefs, we cannot call you where we rent, or you cannot give me a call, say, parish chief, where are you? Are you in Masang? I wanted to see you. I jump out of my room, which I'm renting. I come on the roadside, and I say, Madam, where are you? I am here on the roadside. In other words, can the government, through you, create some organized place or an office where parish chief as an epicenter for development, such that the community, when such vehicles come and say we are visiting such and such a parish, they see they are packed. This thing I think is very powerful. Mindset change. It can also create some kind of belief, and when for us we go there to convince them to do what the government wants, they can cooperate very fast.
I'm a principal assistant secretary, but as of now I'm acting in the position of chief administrative officer, who is away for official duties. We are having a meeting, PDM meeting today, with officials from PDM Secretariat. As regards PDM, BUTALEJA as a district, we have been managing PDM, and as we talk of now, we have so far received 27 billion shillings that has been sunk into our communities in BUTALEJA district. And this money, as you know, PDM is a revolving fund. Each individual, each beneficiary is given 1 million to put in an enterprise that has been selected and verified by the subject matter specialists. We have our extension workers, and the commercial officers also carry out the cost benefit analysis of these enterprises before we give this 1 million shillings to the beneficiaries, whereby they go and purchase these enterprises. And among them, we have had rearing of cattle. We have had establishment of like coffee growing, cocoa growing, and others. And from the analysis, this has impacted so much our community in the way that some of them derive. So we really want to thank government for this really well-designed program for our community in BUTALEJA district. Today we have this meeting with PDM Secretariat just because we have a new guideline on the leadership management. You know, we have circle leaders at every parish. So there are some changes that have come on board that we want to sensitize our communities so that they are aware about the new changes that have come, so that we really uphold our program with the new changes that have come, especially in the leadership of these circles. And after this meeting with the CDOs, the commercial officers, the parish chiefs, and the SARS, we are going to the field to have two site meetings, one in the Bunyole West, another one will be held in the Bunyole East in Naviganda Town Council, where we shall meet the community and we share experience, the challenges, and we will see how we can improve our program. Thank you.
My name is Dugo Amina. I'm the District Production Officer as well as the PDM focal point person. When I talk about the status of PDM, I think we have gone through the first phase, which has been mainly sensitization and capitalizing the PDM circles. I'll say that in the first phase, we have managed to give out all the money, and the money has gone. We have promoted key enterprises like dairy, like piggery, like poultry, and then on food crops we have granules, cassava, and the like. Progress so far, we can say that those who got in the first 2 years, that is 23 and 24, they have started reaping. You can say the animals that they bought, they have given birth, and people are taking some of them and also selling some. And we have estimated the percentage to be about 53% of our PDM beneficiaries who have started reaping. We can also say that the production in those key enterprises has increased, because in the last 2 years we have been over 90% food secure, and that one is key. And then people have been able to get incomes in their pockets. We are now moving into recovery of the money. We still have a challenge there, but we know we shall be there, because we have only recovered 1,400,000, but we have now started on the initiatives of recovery. We want to sensitize people and we want to enforce the recovery. We hope we shall be able to recover the money. Otherwise, PDM has done a lot of good work in the district, because you see that many people are engaged. Even those whom we say there is diversion of funds. It's not diversion of funds fully, but they change the enterprise. You find for us, we don't want them to go into rice, but you find a few of them taking the money into rice production. And that's what we call diversion of